Chris, really disappointed. It's a feeling we're not used to, particularly here at Brunton Park.
Well, football, there's no divine right to win any game. So, you've got to be respectful to the sport we work in. But, yeah, it was unfortunate. I mean, Forest Green are a good team. They've done the double on us, so well done to them. Just felt it within the game, there was never really any clean-cut chances for them. I thought second half we were pushing really well. The substitutes made a good difference. We were probably a little bit down in terms of change of pace and speed to get the ball back or to do things on that ball, especially in the attacking prowess. But I thought the substitutes took it up a notch. But all in all, we couldn't. Well, we did. We found a good equalising goal, but we give up the opportunity to probably turn that into our win straight away. So that was hard because you could see by the reactions of the players that they were up for it. But the ref, he's give them a penalty, and looking at it, it is slightly in the box, so you can't argue about that. I'm really confused about Brennan's situation because he's goal side to. If there's a foul, it's on Brennan, but he's sort of.
I didn't say so were we, because as soon as he hit the back of the net, we were celebrating.
Well, it's a penalty for us because he barges Brennan, but we don't go down screaming. We carry on and play, and because of that, we've been disadvantaged because it's a great goal. Obviously, great to see Jimmy score his first league goal. He's unfortunate to hit the post with his header. Ozzy's unfortunate to, getting across people in the 6-yard box. Nice to see centre forward play. Unfortunately, went straight to the goalkeeper. Could have gone anywhere. There's a couple of other things in the box that we didn't quite get right. Joe Riley was excellent, wasn't he, for the goal? So some really good positive things, but ultimately we've been beaten and we like winning. So it is hard to take, but that's part of this sport we work in. So we have to understand why we've lost. Try and reflect on it to make us better. We're obviously very respectful, I am anyway, to Forest Green and our opponents, but we've got to make sure we just look at why we ended up not being in a position to win the game. Obvious things, like obviously conceding straight away and that, but there's reasons why. Two centre halves dealing with one centre forward, there's no danger, but it becomes dangerous. We kind of make a bit of a mess of it really instead of being clean. And because we're not cleaning that work, they then can take advantage of the space. Number 4 gets in front of our midfield and drives. And then everybody's on the back foot. Very similar to the penalty situation because Callum Guy ends up covering it right back. They had 2 chances, I think, near the end, but that's when we're like real pushing for equalising goals. So, I think the game, they kept, I would imagine, more possession on stats. But ultimately, I am disappointed we've not got a point, if not gain 3.
I'm not sure if you agreed with this when I said it walking across the pitch, but both of their goals came, the attacking positions we were in, we were so well set, we looked good for where we were.
Yeah, but you got to have control to waves of attacks and non-turnovers and things like that. We've got to find our extra pass in the game again. And I just spoke to the boys. They're very disappointed, but they've got to take stock. They've been through the mill. Like you got Big John there. Like he's trying to find his lungs again. There's lots of people that have been infected, and who knows what it does to you. And we're carrying on in our sport. We're trying our hardest to gain our 3 points for us and Carlisle United, but he's got to try and find his legs again, and so have a few others. But and he will, because he's honest and he'll work hard in getting there. But that's where we are at the moment. So it's very difficult for us. So obviously we can't play Saturday, but we've obviously not got what we want tonight, and we've got to go home and just deal with it. We've all got to deal with it.
It's not an excuse, is it, Chris? Because it's been such a stop-start to 2021, and the lads have still. We can see it. It's not rustiness. That's the wrong way to describe it. But the lads have got to find that flow that was there prior to that breakdown.
Yeah, and if you start seasons, it only takes. You to speak to any real experienced people in football. It takes a good half a dozen games to get to that feeling, and we were in it. And it was pleasing that we responded ever so well against Exeter to get the 3 points. And it's very good to have a very good opponent on the back foot who are in rhythm. So, well done. But since the day I got in here, I like winning. I like seeing good things in the last third. I like turnovers and control. And we just lacked a bit of that, even when we're attacking. So we sometimes don't get the attack right, but when it pops out, we then go again on it. and like I said, give credit to the opponent, but we've lost to a penalty and a free kick. That's what we've lost to, and we scored a good goal in free play and hit the post and nearly scored a couple of others, so it depends how you want to look at the game.
We said at half time it was two good teams, you could tell, just going at each other, and it was going to be interesting to see which way it would break.
Yeah, and I spoke to the lads at half time about that. We weren't quite getting them a little bit dishevelled, although often Forest Green actually passed to us. But what we didn't do at that point in that last third is take advantage. Amari's made a decision to shoot but not really cut it clean, and yet he's got 2 or 3 other options to pass near a goal. I don't mind him shooting, but he's got to try and get that better, but he knows that, so there's no need gesticulate with a player that's doing ever so well and running ever so hard for us, and he didn't get it quite right tonight, amongst other things, and other players doing that. That's what happens.
You could see the disappointment in the lads who gave away the penalty and the free kick. You could see it from them, they're disappointed in themselves for putting themselves in that position.
Yeah, I'd have to look back at why we ended up in the tangle for Callum Guy to end up right back cover, but I do remember the second goal more clearly, and we could have easily have avoided that, because they had more men behind the ball and we made it good for them by actually not dealing with the first contact. But it happens in football, happens at every level, but we just got to make sure we deal with it.
You mentioned it, the moments, they didn't go for us today, but the moments were still there. That's important. The boys are still creating these chances.
Well, we're pushing, and we've got players that can push coming on as well, and if it doesn't drop in, it doesn't drop in. But there's one thing we can guarantee is that harder work and honesty to push something. They'll know they've been in a game, and we know we've tried our best to try and get our 3 points.
You mentioned Joe Riley already. That's what your team's all about, that whole thing that happened from him winning the ball to getting it into the box.
Yeah, and as a team we'll get back to them levels. As an individual, Joel's been there today and Saturday. He was excellent, wasn't he?
Substitutions, if you look at the bench and you can see they're going to make an impact, and they did.
They did. Jimmy scores, Ozzy nearly does, Jimmy hits the post. It allows a different problem and challenge to the defenders that are playing against. Ozzy's very physical, you can see he puts his body in and pushes and shoves and moves, and he didn't get a clean, his clean chance came to him too early actually. He passed, didn't he, to JJ for a goal kick, should have shot, but it was good to see, but unfortunately not good enough to to help the team get a point or 3 points.
Them fans watching on Eiffel, they'll have seen a team that is just on the brink. You can just tell that it is. How frustrating is it for something like Saturday to happen when you're wanting your boys to get the legs going again?
Well, we just have to accept it. We just have to accept that's the journey that I keep telling everybody that you try and go on, and that's the diversion that we've not asked for, but it's been given to us, and we just have to deal with it. We'll have to just stop, fill the car up, eat the egg sandwiches, and get the kids asking me when are we there yet. But we can't play again on Saturday, which is unfortunate, but what we can do is work very hard and get ready for Leyton Orient, weather pending.
Don't have to ask you this, but I'll mention it anyway. We would normally say when we've been beaten we need a response. We know these boys will respond.
Yeah, they're easy comments. I'm in football. I just said to the lads though, what they have to do is understand that no matter how you feel after or before a game, you can only ever change it in it. So you can only ever really win or lose anything in the game. So you've got to make sure that when we come back to the opportunity of being able to play, and Aaron was talking about it in the change rooms, remember, because we've seen a very emphatic celebration from Forest Green at 2 occasions. But if they want to do that, that's what they want to do. So we'll have to wait and see how it all pans out over the next 23 games. We've got, I think, we've got 42 points in 23 matches. We're at halfway point now, which is normally Boxing Day. So if we can look to try and repeat or get near to or go beyond the standards that we've been, it's going to be a massive effort, and if we can, there'll be some good news at the end of it. Good news tomorrow, hopefully, if the weather stays off, that we can get some minutes into legs for boys who've been on the fringes lately. Yeah, definitely. It will be if you let me go home and I can get some rest, but this has been the longest interview I've ever had. Thanks for your time, Chris. Thank you.